Hello, fellow producers. I'm Annihilate, and today is a very good day because I just downloaded Serum 2. To test drive it, I made this growl. Let's get into it. Starting off with Oscillator A, it's set to Trilobite 3, and LFO 1, which looks like this, is modulating the wavetable position to 62%. Oscillator A has two voices, and its detune is set to 0.05. Oscillator A's level is set to 0 and is instead being FM'd into Oscillator B, which also is set to 0. Oscillator B has its wavetable position being modulated by LFO2, going to 37%. And Oscillator B is phase modulating from Oscillator A, and the amount of phase mod is being controlled by LFO1. Oscillator B also has two voices, and its detune is set to 0.03. Oscillator B is going through both filters, and we will go over them in just a moment. Oscillator C is phase modulating from Oscillator B, and it is set to 43%. Oscillator C also has two voices, and its unison is set to 0.04. And Oscillator C is running through both filters. Filter 1 is a bandpass 12, and its cutoff and res are both being modulated by LFO1, with its cutoff going to 68% and its res to 31%. Filter 2 is a notch 24 filter, with its cutoff at 622 Hz, and its cutoff is being modulated by macro 1, which is set to go 22%. Jumping over real quickly to the Matrix tab, LFO2 is set to the main tuning, which is what Master Tune is now called. It is set to 21%, and our bass sounds like this. For the sub-oscillator, it's set to rounded square, with the level starting at 53% and being modulated by LFO2 go up another 24%. Moving over to the effects tab, we start with the filter set to Format 2. The cutoff is set to 3284 and is being modulated at 14% by LFO3, with the res set to 28% and the drive at 12%, as well as having the actual format set to 36%, and the mix being at 51%. This helps it give it that vowel-y sound. Next up, we have an EQ to help give it that growl sound. The left side is set to low and is being modulated by LFO2, set to 60%. Next up is hyper, with the rate set to 39%, the detune at 33%, and the mix at 18% to help make it sound wider. Next up, we have another filter. This time it's set to Combs minus. The filter starts off at 240 Hz, but moves down 9%, being modulated by LFO3. The drive is set to 31%, with LP starting at 0 and moving it to 83%, also being modulated by LFO3. I have the mix of this filter set to this macro. Next up is this phaser, with the rate set to 0, the depth at 27%, the frequency set to 311 Hz, moving 3% upward, and the mix at 52%. Next we have some distortion, set to diode 1, with the drive at 18% being modulated by LFO2, up 39%, with the mix being at 19%, also moving up at 29% by LFO2. To give it that OTT growly sound, we have 3 compressors all on multiband mode with the following settings. They're mostly default though. Finally, we have a reverb set to Hall, with its size at 19%, the low at 83%, and its decay at 1.7 seconds. Its mix is being modulated by LFO4 to turn on it when the growl stops. Alright, that'll do it for this video. Remember, if you already own Serum, you can upgrade to version 2 for free, and I'll see you in the next one of whatever these are.